I was once young. I was once 20. I was once 17. I was once, whatever age you are right now. And I remember having a dream, right? Don't we all have dreams? We all have dreams. And I had this dream to become a pilot.
Wow.
And and at the time, I'll say in Kinyarwanda byari ibintu by'abazungu. We didn't have an airline per se. I didn't know pilots. I did not know even where I was going to work, so to speak. And so I have this dream that I do not know what I want to do with it. I don't have the money to go to pilot school. Those who have even done research about pilot school know it's very, very expensive. And I did have a mother who really believed in me, though. And I think that's the powerful story in my particular story. So I think what we can relate here is the ability to have a dream and to push for your dream, right? So at least at that point, we're all at the same pace, right? And basically on the same ground. So back, I wanted to be a pilot. I was sharing my story. And the thing is, as I continued sharing my story among relatives, among whoever will listen, I kept hearing this. It's like, oh, do you know any pilots? Where are you going to go? Do you have money? Where are you going to work? Because that's another thing. It's like if you're in Rwanda and you're dreaming to be a pilot, where are you going to work? So that was a very valid question. To be honest, as a young person, where are you going to work? And I think, first of all, I have to be very, very, very grateful for our country. Because while I had a dream that at the time I did not even see where the country was going, I didn't even know there would have been an opportunity to have an airline. I was just going to push for it. If one day I was going to go in Congo and fly the bush planes, I was going to do that. If it was going wherever I was going to go, I just knew my dream. I had to fly planes, and however I did that was going to be in God's. So anyway, I do my research like we all do our research. And I find a school up north of Uganda called Sorority Flying School, or East African Civil Aviation Authority, Civil Aviation Academy. So that's where I went to school. That's another interesting story. How I got the money to go there and how I got admitted is another story, right? So like I already told you, I didn't have money, right? So I share the story, no one's willing to listen, no one's willing to even, because you're a dreamer, and what are you going to do with your dream? So luckily, like I already said, my mom was a very, very, very critical part of my dreaming and supporting my dream. She had a plot in Kabeza. She sold her plot. Right? And at the time, of course, those who know Rwanda now is super expensive, but at the time, the plot was around 4 million. Yeah. And 2 of those million, I put on my pocket, right? I book a bus, one-way bus. I've never been to Soroti. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know anyone there, but I'm going. I put all my stuff in my bag. I didn't have an admission. I had just written an email and no one had. This is the time when school websites were just websites. There was no one actually answering on the websites. So if you had a phone number, yeah, you would use a phone number. But if you didn't know anyone, then good luck to you. So I go to the school. I go straight, poof, to the director's office. There was a treasurer at the time, the person in charge of the money. Meanwhile, I remember I had my 2 million on my pocket and my suitcase. So they ask me, so what do you want? And you see, I've just finished. I've seen like a few of you are like high school graduates. And that's where I was. I'll skip the story of the other things I tried to do during my gap year or during my holiday, trying to, you know how it is. So they asked me, so why are you here? I'm here to fly planes. Okay. Have you finished? Have you finished school? Yes, I finished my A-levels. These are my results. Okay. And mind you, so anyone who has done any research in piloting programs, they have but in any other school years, they have starting dates. So they had a September and a March. So suddenly, somehow, I had shown up in September. and my course, so they have courses. The entry, it's like Ningi Sirikari, like Mwinjira Makos. So basically, they tell, but the course has already started. What are we going to do for you? Are you going to come back in March? I was like, no, I'm ready to start. So they're looking at me, it's like, you're ready to start now? Yes. But admission, you need this money. It's like, I have half of, because what was required at the time was around, I think, $4,000. And actually, I did not have $2 million. I had $2,000. That was, I think, much less that time. Yes, this is like 2000. Yeah, a dollar was maybe 400? 400. Yeah, 500. Maybe. 400. Yeah. So I had much less than $2 million, definitely. So I told them I do have my $2,000, and I will come up with the rest. How will I come up with the rest? I do not know. Anyway, so they tell me, but you need a student pilot's license. You have to go down to Entebbe to get it. That's somewhere in Kampala. So I was like, that's fine. Can I leave my bags here? They let me leave my bags. They even gave me a room, which just shows you sometimes when you really believe in yourself, some things work out. But sometimes things don't work out and you have to keep trying and pushing. Yeah. So anyway, go get my student pilot's license, and the rest is history. Because after I had started school, then the story comes back to Rwanda. By the way, Esther has gone to become a pilot. Now it's a story. In the village, it is a story. All my relatives in Burundi, my relatives in Uganda, my relatives, the whole village now at this point knows we have a pilot in the family. now I'm not a dreamer anymore, but I am a potential. There is a real potential to have a pilot in the family. So of course now the second 2,000 I got from another uncle, and then the rest is history. Because by the time the airline started, guess who was already a pilot, a private pilot? Me. So then I got sponsored. I got the rest of the sponsorship from Rwanda. And then I finished my education in the States, and the rest is history. Look at me now. So yeah, that's really my journey of how I became a pilot. Thank you so much.